Tournament Central is on the Disc Golf Network from Emporia, Kansas. The 2024 Dynamic Discs Open at Champions Landing. Grant Zellner with you alongside one of two champions to be crowned today. Your work is done, and I bet you're not too unhappy about that. I bet you're pretty thrilled about the fact that you're in out of the rain, the chilly conditions. But let's talk big picture. First of all, it was rough out there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the weather was actually kind of nice in the beginning, a little cloudy, but the wind was pretty low compared to what we had the last 2 days. Um, and then, yeah, the rain kind of started and never really stopped. But it was light, but it was enough. It was annoying enough to make you have to think about it.
When things got started, it's dreary day, but arguably better scoring conditions than we've had the first 2 days. It felt like momentum might be kind of a key. You go out on the first hole, you nail the long putt, and then you have the drive of the group on hole number two. And it felt like we were off and running as we sit here and get a look at it right now. This moment felt like, okay, the first person to grab momentum clearly is going to be Missy. But then it turned out that wasn't enough. It just became a different kind of a grind. And it seemed like every time one person stumbled, someone else maybe got that stroke and then they lost it on it. What was it like out there trying to deal with all of that at the same time?
Yeah, when the scores are so tight like they were, I feel like it almost becomes match play a little bit towards the end. Um, and again, I mean, even judging by my scorecard, in general, I play the front nine really well, and I've kind of struggled here and there on the back nine, but it was pretty clean. I'm gonna get bogeys, but it's getting pars and just again trying to sort of play off what my card mates are doing while also staying in my own lane. Honestly, today my goal was just to putt better, and I think I could check that box pretty well. So I'm glad that I kind of bounced back from some poor putting performances earlier in the tournament.
Take us back to one moment in the round that I was sitting there watching and just wondering what you all were thinking. It was when that entire lead card got to 16 the first time.
Yeah.
And three of the four of you put your drives literally within 12 inches perhaps
Yeah.
of all three of you landing on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, none of you land on the island. But for each of you, it must have been a moment of someone else. Okay, now I have a chance. Oh, nope, now I don't. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now they, back and forth, back and forth. What was the emotional swing like in that moment?
Yeah, it's funny because I had actually kind of the fortune of going last on the box for the first time around on 16. So when nobody else made it, I felt like super confident, which I'm glad I felt that way, but it still didn't work out for me. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to stick this island because everybody else missed. But things don't always happen, even if you're trying to make them come to fruition. At least I knew I wasn't going to lose any strokes there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like you know, I was excited at first that it might be in bounds, and then it wasn't. So I didn't foresee anybody really trying to push that putt from the drop zone, and yeah, then we all got bogeys and moved on, except for Lisa, who played the layup play pretty well. So yeah.
30 minutes later, by real time standards, you're back there on that same tee box, shooting for that same island green. This part of the first hole of an aggregate playoff. Haley's got her disc in tight. You throw, you're on the island, but you've got some distance. You've got two more holes of aggregate to go, but you chose that moment to take the risk and run that putt. Why was that?
Because I had the fortune of actually sticking the island and just barely, to the point where the spotter didn't really want to even give us a call, but it was very clearly in bounds. So I think I was just like, hey, it's aggregate, but this is the second time I've landed on the island only this weekend. So might as well try. Might as well try it. And I'm just so glad that it went in.
You've won a major already in this calendar year. You're known for closing the year with a lot of strength over the course of your career. You've got this victory now. As your career matures and as you continue to grow just as a person, has your definition of success changed in any way? I know obviously you're always going for the win, But in maybe a bigger picture, does your definition, your feeling that I'm being successful over a longer period of time, has that changed or is that changing?
Um, yeah, I mean, my expectations are definitely higher. Even if I try to not have expectations, it's at this point in my career, I kind of just have to put my mindset to I'm trying to play it one hole at a time, but at the same time, like you said, I'm trying to win. I'm out here to win, and I've been out here for a while now, and I always just look back at all the things that, Tom and I both have sacrificed to come out here on tour, and as the talent gets better and better, to win now just feels that much more exciting and fulfilling because the field is so strong. I know we had a slightly slimmed down field this weekend, but still it was tough out there. It was neck and neck, and there was
Mm-hmm.
multiple players, so it still felt like a really big battle, and it was, and yeah, it went my way. So.
It's been a genuinely exhausting stretch over the last month or so. Events every single week. I was looking at the calendar. In the last 11 calendar days, you played 7 rounds of disc golf, 4 at Northwood
Mm,
in terrible conditions,
mhm,
frankly, and then 3 here in none of the 3 days were really great conditions.
mhm.
It has to be exhausting. You have a week off, or at least you could take the week. I mean, what are your plans going to be before heading to the West Coast?
Yeah, definitely taking a week off. We have some time to get out to California, so we're going to hang out. I think we're planning on going to Oklahoma, actually to check out Holland and Tyler's property that she put together a course out there. So I think we're going to stop out there, check it out, and still try to take a little bit of time off throwing, but we're definitely going to throw her course and yeah, have some relaxing fun
Yeah, you can
times.
park your RV in my driveway. I'll be right up the street from you.
Nice.
Missy Gannon, the champion of the 2024 Dynamic Discs Open in a dramatic playoff. Congratulations.
Thank you.